Right now, on to the point, the high-speed rail debate.
It is time to stop throwing good money after bad.
As one congressman threatens to cut federal funds, tonight former Governor Jerry Brown defending his legacy project on ABC 10.
If we want to be great, make America great again, we ought to have a rail system.
A series of storm systems making their way across Northern California. The timing and how much rain and snow we can expect.
And later, the state law upending calculus courses in community colleges. Tonight, why some professors worry it could end up hurting students.
Good evening. As always, thank you so much for joining us on To the Point. I'm Alex Bell. Tonight, the future of federal funding for the California high-speed rail project is up in the air. Congressman Kevin Kiley says that he's planning to introduce a bill to eliminate federal dollars for the project. The idea of building a high-speed rail in California has been around since the 1980s, and California voters first approved the project back in 2008. The bullet train is meant to connect Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and several cities in between, but the authority overseeing construction estimates the rail system will cost $100 billion more than originally expected. Congressman Kevin Kiley released a statement saying, in part, quote, "There is no plausible scenario where the cost to federal or state taxpayers can be justified. Our share of federal transportation funding should go towards real infrastructure needs, such as improving roads that rank among the worst in the country." And Elon Musk, who President-elect Trump says will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, recently highlighted the project's substantial delays and costs, including $6.8 billion in federal funding it has received and the $8 billion in additional funding that has been requested. Now, Kiley took that one step further, addressing the House floor, saying his proposed bill would make the project ineligible for any further federal funds.
Simply put, it is time to stop throwing good money after bad. Currently, there remains a $100 billion funding shortfall for the train. This is in the estimation of the High-Speed Rail Authority's own officials. There is no viable plan for making up this gap other than continuing to demand it from taxpayers.
Now, this is not the first time that government officials have pushed back on the project. Back in May, 2 Republican Congress members demanded the Department of Transportation provide documents on the status of the project, including a federal grant of $3 billion from the bipartisan infrastructure law to the California High-Speed Rail Authority. Former Governor Jerry Brown led the effort to start construction on the high-speed rail during his 4 terms in office. Today, I sat down with him and asked his thoughts on the efforts to stop the project. Congressman Kevin Kiley and Elon Musk, they both have come out and said that they want to stop this project. What is your response to their efforts in trying to stop this?
Well, I understand Elon Musk. He has a competing system. He has this underground boring system that you can get in some kind of a tube, and they can rush you underground, like you're some kind of a rat, and bring you up on the other side. So that's the Musk plan, okay? Really, far out thing. He doesn't like the bullet train. In fact, he told Governor Newsom a long time ago, don't be for that bullet train. Well, the fact is, we talk about competing with China. China has 20,000 miles of high-speed rail. I've ridden on it. It's fantastic. Paris has this, Great Britain, Germany. If we want to be great, make America great again, we ought to have a rail system, because all these cars on the freeway, I drive I-80, and it's many, many times you're just backed up. We need high-speed rail connecting the major metropolitan areas. Yes, it costs money, tens of billions. So a lot of things cost money. They're expensive. So does our intercontinental ballistic missile system. It's going to cost $130 billion, and you can't use it, because if you fire one of them, the Russians will fire back, and we'll all be gone. Yeah, I know the critics. I know it takes time. I hope the thing gets finished before I, kick the bucket. It's not clear that I will. They're talking 2030. So here we go. I'm 86. I'm hanging on until I can get on that high-speed rail and go from Merced to Fresno.
And I sat down with Governor Brown today for about 20 minutes. Of course, we talked about everything from California's climate risks under a second Trump administration to getting tougher on crime and the current Newsom administration. What advice would you give Governor Gavin Newsom heading into the new year?
I don't like to give advice.
You don't like to give advice?
To a successor. Ronald Reagan preceded me as governor of California, and he never gave me advice. Arnold Schwarzenegger preceded me as governor of California. He never gave me any advice. So I'm not going to give any advice to Newsom. If he wants some privately, he can call me. I have a few thoughts.
And you can stream my full interview with former Governor Brown on the ABC 10 Plus app. Just look for Governor Brown on the home screen, and that app is free and available wherever you stream. Tonight, Time Magazine is calling President-elect Donald Trump Person of the Year. To honor the occasion, he rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange this morning. He was joined by his family and members of his next administration. The president-elect addressed his next term and what he sees as the biggest threat to America.
I could just say that the economy, I believe, is going to be very strong. We do have to solve some problems. We have wars going on that we didn't have. We have a lot of things happening that we didn't have that would have never happened. They would have never happened, but now they have happened. And I want to get them solved. We have to get them solved because ultimately the power of weaponry today is the biggest threat we have, in my opinion.
This marks the second time that Trump has been named Time's Person of the Year. In his interview with the magazine, Trump reiterated that one of his first actions after being sworn in will be to pardon most of those who have been jailed in connection with the January 6th Capitol attack. There is backlash tonight over a recent Trump pick. The president-elect announced former news anchor Carrie Lake, who will lead Voice of America. But for people who have never heard of the organization, some think that Trump created the job just for her. So tonight, the Verified team is looking into whether those claims are true.
President-elect Donald Trump is set to begin his second term in the White House in January.
One of Trump's picks to work in his administration is former news anchor and Arizona Republican Senate candidate Carrie Lake, tapped to lead the Voice of America.
Following his announcement, many people on social media said they'd never heard of Voice of America. Others asked if he created this new organization and position just for Lake. So let's verify. Is Voice of America a new government organization? These are our sources. Voice of America is not new. It's a government-funded international multimedia broadcaster that was started in the 1940s by President Franklin Roosevelt to combat Nazi propaganda and officially codified into law by Congress in 1976. Per its congressional charter, the VOA is required to present objective, independent news and information to international audiences. It started off as a radio broadcast and has expanded to share U.S. policy-centric content across the internet and television, with services in 49 languages for an estimated weekly global audience of more than 354 million people.
While Trump said he wants Lake to lead the international broadcasting team, under U.S. law, that position is actually appointed by the head of the U.S. Agency for Global Media, a position appointed by the president that requires congressional confirmation.
With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
Still ahead on To the Point, a state law changing up how community college students complete their math requirements, why some worry that it could end up hurting the people that it was designed to help.
We're tracking showers moving across the region tonight, how much longer they'll last, and when we can expect the next storm system to arrive.
And extreme sports coming to Sacramento, when and where the X Games will be hosted. Welcome back. It is a weather impact alert day, a storm bringing rain and snow to Northern California. This is some video along I-80 today in the Sierra. You can see there the snow causing delays and backups. I mean, just, Carly, what is going on here?
A lot of accidents. People just not taking it slow enough, you know?
We were just talking about this. Yes, take it slow on the roads with the rain and the snow, people.
Continuing through tonight into tomorrow morning, another little round, but the biggest impact day for you is going to be Saturday. And you really need to listen up to this because not only are we going to get the rain and the snow, we're talking very high wind gusts expected. So blowing snow and blowing rain throughout your Saturday, especially into the morning hours. Several storm systems hitting the state. First this one, then Saturday, then we have one more on Monday. So these first two is what you really need to pay attention to. We'll see as much as a 1/4 to 1.5 inches of rain left with 1 to 3 feet of snow continuing. Now, winter storm warning is going to be in effect into Saturday night, and we're also talking about those strong winds. A high wind warning and advisory being issued areas from Red Bluff all the way down towards Stockton, Going to see this at least until noon on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if this was extended because some of these wind gusts will continue even into the afternoon hours, but the strongest into the morning up until noon there, about 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts. Just take a look at this. We'll start seeing them by Friday. You're looking at Friday night picking up out of the south. I mean, these are really strong even into our overnight hours. Then we get into the morning and you're looking at 11 a.m. 40, 45 mile per hour wind gusts up and down the valley spots, into the foothills, into the Sierra. No one is spared. Everyone getting the strong gusts into the afternoon, evening. Finally, by about 8:30, things start slowing down for our valley up to about 15 mile per hour winds. And then over the Sierra Crest, going to continue to see those winds into Saturday night. Here's where we time out the storm. Into tomorrow morning, one more morning commute storm. Then we kind of see it passing by lunchtime. We get some breaks there with more Sierra snow. Then as we get into a very early Saturday morning, a lot of rain at about 1, 2 a.m. Then another push into your Saturday mid-morning hours. And again, this is when we expect some of that really strong wind to begin pushing through as well. Over the next few days, mid to upper 50s expected. The weather impact alert day on Saturday. We'll have another rainy day Monday in those low 50s, but then we should start drying out a bit. We may have a chance to see some rain on Saturday. Upper 50s, that'll be the first day of winter.
All right, thanks, Carly. And there's a lot of things going on in our forecast, so make sure that you stay up to date with our weather conditions wherever you are. You can always stream the free ABC 10 Plus app. You can find live radar, the latest storm and news and hourly forecasts that are actually tailored to your location. Again, that app is free. Next, on to the Point Community College, why professors and students are worried about how calculus will be taught. All right, a change in state law is upending the way community colleges teach calculus, and the goal is to make the pathway to a STEM career more equitable and accessible to people historically underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and math. But some math professors and students tell ABC 10 that they're worried the law could end up hurting the very people that it was designed to help. ABC 10's Becca Hobegger explains.
In California, 116 community colleges serve some 2 million students.
Many students pursuing a STEM degree, science, technology, engineering, and math, are required to take calculus. Some who did well in high school math are able to jump right into calculus, but others, up until recently, started in lower level classes and tried working their way up to calculus with transfer level college algebra, trigonometry, or pre-calculus, or even remedial classes, which do not transfer to four-year universities. Several years ago, the California Community College's Chancellor's Office argued with research there were students taking lower level math courses they might not actually need, delaying their calculus requirement and therefore their degree. Some students dropped out altogether.
The length of the pathway to get to calculus for STEM majors is leading to an enormous amount of attrition.
John Hetz is the executive vice chancellor with the California Community College's Chancellor's Office. He points to a 2016 report from the Public Policy Institute of California, which showed only about 27% of students who took a remedial math course eventually completed a college-level math course with a grade of C or better. Just 16% of students in remedial classes earned a certificate or associate degree within 6 years, and only 24% successfully transferred to a four-year college. Research showed Latino, Black, and low-income students were overrepresented in these remedial courses. His office and state lawmakers did something about this, creating two pieces of legislation. The first, AB 705, which went into effect in 2018, requires community colleges to consider a student's high school coursework and GPA as primary determining factors for placement to maximize the probability that a student will enter and complete transfer-level coursework in English and math within a one-year time frame.
A study showed it helped at some colleges, but implementation varied across the system.
One of the things that happened in response to AB 705 is a number of our institutions lengthened their sequence of courses at transfer level, so college-level courses, but prior to calculus. And what the evidence shows pretty clearly about that is that when you lengthen that sequence, it dramatically decreases the likelihood that students get to the end of that sequence. And for a STEM major, right, calculus is not the end of the work, it's the beginning of the work.
So in 2022, lawmakers passed AB 1705. It essentially bars community colleges from putting STEM students into remedial math courses and encourages students to be placed directly into Calculus 1. The changes go into effect July 2025.
What the evidence strongly suggests is that the best way for students who are STEM majors is to get them started in calculus with the appropriate support.
Earlier this year, the Chancellor's office began encouraging colleges to create a support course for STEM students who were less academically successful in high school to take alongside Calculus 1. Colleges also have the option to design an innovative course that students can take the semester before calculus if they are struggling. But students with a high school GPA greater than 2.6 and who passed high school trig, pre-calc, or calc with a C or better would not be eligible for that preparatory semester. They'd be deemed successful enough to dive right into calculus.
We just think this law went too far.
Math professors like Rena Weiss of Moore Park College worry the new rules will force many STEM students who aren't yet academically prepared to begin with calculus, thus setting them up for failure.
It's like removing Piano 1 before taking Piano 2. Just go straight into Piano 2, or just go straight into advanced accounting without the benefit of introduction to accounting. There is so much content that students need to know, plus the math maturity that comes from doing problems of that level before advancing upon them in Calculus 1.
In the course of our reporting, the Chancellor's office announced just this week it's changing its guidance, making more students eligible for transfer level prior to calculus courses. Lowest performing students will be able to take 2 semesters, the next level up 1 semester, and STEM students who already completed the equivalent of these classes while in high school will still be placed directly into Calculus 1.
We asked the Chancellor's office why the change.
In a statement, they said the Chancellor's office over recent months has engaged in dialogue with faculty, administrators, counselors, and students about whether students who had not completed a class higher than high school level geometry or its equivalent would be fully prepared to enroll directly in Calculus 1. The updated guidance provides additional options for less prepared students before taking Calculus 1.
We are very, very excited that the state listened to us. So that's great.
Professor Weiss says she is cautiously optimistic, but still has concerns.
Some students do well in Calculus 1 without a lot of preparation. Others really need the preparation. And so we believe in these courses. We believe that they need to be there. And we're cautiously optimistic that the state will let us continue to teach those courses in the future.
The office says they will evaluate student progress over the course of 2 years and adjust, if needed, in 2027. Becca Habiger, ABC 10.
And we also spoke with a student about her thoughts on this change. You can check out what she had to say on abc10.com. And I do want to mention California's largest nonprofit news organization called EdSource that focuses on education was the first to shine light on this community college math concern. Experts recommend any high school student with an interest in a STEM career should take as much high school math as possible before heading to college. It could save a lot of time and money further down the road. All right, let's get into price points tonight. A new federal rule plans to cap bank overdraft fees. It could add up to a $5 billion in savings. Bank overdraft fees usually kick in when you try to withdraw more money from your checking account than you actually have available. Those fees are usually $35 per transaction, but that may soon change to $5. Under the new federal law, banks could still charge more than $5, but those terms would have to be agreed upon up front. The change officially takes effect next October, but it could face some legal challenges. All right, stay with us. Next, on To The Point, the X Games in Sacramento, when and where you can catch the extreme sporting event. ABC 10 and Wells Fargo are teaming up for the 5th annual Stand Against Hunger campaign to help feed people in need this holiday season. The Stand Against Hunger campaign is raising money for 7 local food banks. For a list of those participating food banks and how you can help, make sure you head to abc10.com/standagainsthunger. Big sports news here in Sacramento. The X Games announced a new 3-year partnership with Cal Expo. So this event will take place every summer from 2025 to 2027. It will include skateboarding, BMX, and motocross. More than 100 athletes will compete for $1 million in prize money, including BMX professional Bryce Tryon from Lodi.
I've never had this feeling before because I've never had such a big event come so close to home, and I'm just really looking forward to it and just hoping to make the hometown proud.
The games are about to mark their 30th anniversary. They are also launching the X Games League, a new global team-based format set to start in 2026. Sacramento will be the first location to host the X Games League. And that is our show tonight. Thank you so much for watching and for inviting us into your home. If you have something that we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. And if you would like to see my full 20-minute one-on-one interview with former Governor Jerry Brown, you can always do that on our free ABC 10 Plus streaming app. We talk about everything from Prop 47 to Prop 36, immigration, climate, and what California could look like under a new Trump administration. And don't forget, our free ABC 10 app is free to download. Again, free. Wherever you stream, you can always watch us. To the Point does not end here. You can always watch our stories. Have a great night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To The Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To The Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look, it's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To The Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.